Alright, hello, it's me once again. I could not get to the camera to record my entire face, but hello, here I am. Yeah, so this video is I'm just going to be talking about how to do a little bit of improv on piano, or more or less how to get started on improv. I recently got a couple questions from some students of mine that I tutor in piano about how to improvise, and I myself have, really have not been formally trained or anything, so I just like to share some little quick insights and tips as to what I do and how I, go from to, something like something like that. And so, a little bit of disclaimer, you're going to need to know a tiny bit of musical theory in order to do some of these tricks. And even if you don't know any, it's fine if you just tinker around and see what feels good and what sounds good to you. So, essentially, there is no one right way of improvising, as far as I know. There are more or less tools and little bits of skills and assets that you can equip yourself with that allow you to make more informed decisions when it comes to improv. So for some, and those tools will become your assets in terms of emotional availability that you give your piece and how, I guess, technical or whatever kind of genre you want the piece to sound like. So, obviously, I guess if we're going to start from the basics, we can go with, what kind of stuff do you want to start with? If you're going to start improvising, you got to have a sound inside your mind. My teacher used to tell me that before you can play anything, you need to hear the sound inside your head. And that helps a lot when it comes to really producing a sound that you'd like to hear, because improv is, making stuff up on the spot, but you got to make stuff up that sounds good. And if it doesn't sound good to you, it's not going to sound good to a lot of other people, I would imagine. So, if a good way to do it would probably be to sing or hum out some sort of melody and then maybe give it a little bit of chord structure after that. So think of an emotion. I don't know, right now it's 10 p.m. right now, filming a video. I feel like I'm kind of nonchalant. That's my mood, kind of restless a little bit. I kind of want to get stuff done. So what kind of a mood, what kind of emotions and sounds do I want that to have? Something restless probably means something unresolved. So if I were to have a lot of things unresolved, that would probably be something like add 2 or add 4 chords. So obviously that's a 1 with an add 2, which is an E. To simplify that would be in D major we would just have the E, or in D major we would have the G. Right here. Fourths are a great way to build upon unresolved sound. I don't know, I'm just playing these little stacked fourths in different octaves, going up, and just going up and down different chromatic steps. So that's one way of doing that. If I want, this kind of sounds to me like a Ghibli sound, so that's actually a very good sound if you want a beginning of a start of a film or something that sounds resolved. So. And then instead of going into the natural resolution, which is a G major, again, knowing some bit of musical theory, you can go to a deceptive cadence or something else. So, and again, not completely resolving anything right now. So if I were to just expand upon that, something like that, you know? And that's just, you know, that's not even adding any sort of rhythm or tempo to it. That's just purely experimenting with sounds and stuff. So you can do something like that. Obviously, if you're a complete beginner, your ideas are probably going to be scaled a lot more down. So if I were to, you know, give that same example, if you're feeling very, very restless, maybe have just like a simple fourth interval, you know, in C major, C and F. And if I want to build upon that, instead of building like a full major chord, you know, just leave it as C and F. If you flip it, it's a fifth, which sounds a lot more resolved, so maybe leave it as a fourth. And I don't know, keep on playing repetitive intervals of that. You can improvise something just a little diddly on top. And then resolving on like a minor triad. So to me, that would be like a simplified version of that. Again, putting a little bit of melody in the right hand, a little bit of chord structure and harmony in the left. Combining that together with a little bit of musical theory knowledge is how I would generally start about it. Thinking about feelings and how music makes me feel and what kind of sound I want to create. So for me personally, whenever I like to improvise, I like jazz. I've gotten much more into jazz as of like the last couple months. So I tend to love to do to improvise off of like, you know, obviously the blues scale. And you can figure out different little ways to use that to your advantage. And luckily for me, because I have a electronic piano, I can, you know, improvise that, but like in different key sounds. Something like that obviously will get you the desired results that you want, at least for me. I wish I could improvise a little bit better by doing like a lot of the really, really cool, they call it like, you know, all those blues licks that you can do. So, you know, if you're going in C major, that simple thing can be extrapolated to go a whole bunch on top of that. So you can do little different patterns like, and then putting that to a chord progression would be like, something like that. But that's a little bit more advanced. But yeah, other than that, that's, you know, the basics, I guess. I don't know how helpful this will be for a lot of people, but I'm hoping that this will shed a little bit of insight as to the magic of improvisation. You know, whenever we're playing a whole bunch of really, really cool licks and stuff, it's not as if we're just making stuff out of, you know, thin air. We have set patterns and set tools that we use that help us generate the correct sounding things, at least the correct sounding things in our minds, and stuff that makes us feel happy and makes us want to wiggle and dance our bodies all around. So that's like the basic general gist of improv. And yeah, let me know if you'd like to see some more content like this. I'll catch you guys later. Bye!